Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Hello. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. Hello. It is Saturday morning and it is the big event, Christmas with Friends. This is happening. Look at the schedule, you guys, all day long. This one is posted in Central Time. But if you go to Deb's site here on Facebook, the name of her page is Art and Grace. If you go to her page, you can get the schedule. She actually translated it to all the time zones. So if you struggle with that, this one is in Central, but you'll find them all there. Deb is our coordinator today from Art and Grace, and this is the big schedule. You just saw Jen from Home Sweet Create, and coming up after me is Kim, my friend Kim, over at Yesterday's Tomorrow's. I'm going to try to get my camera going here. There I am. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm so excited to be here. It's really crazy, actually. I was watching Deb. So excited to be hanging out with you guys today and honored to be presenting. So thank you to Deb for inviting me. I'm going to grab my chair while we chat. So I was watching Deb this morning. She did this gorgeous deer that she painted. And she hung ornaments. Oh my gosh, so cute. Ornaments from the deer's antlers. And take a look on my table cam. I'm doing a much simpler version of it. I mean, Deb's is gorgeous and she teaches painting. So if you're interested in learning how to paint with ease, she's the one you should be following for sure. I'm going to give you a different version of it using Chalkator. I'm a Chalkator rep. I have been for 5 years. Thank you for tossing the tinsel or sprinkling, Miss Debbie. I appreciate you so much. Good morning, Janet. Hey, Denise, my North Dakota friend. Good morning, Sherry's Creative Designs, and Tamara's here, and Wendy. Yay, let's get crafty. This is such a darling little design, you guys. This is what we're working with today. And I did a little prep work. Okay, let me just show you the packaging so you know what you're looking for. I'm going to be using, it's a 9x12 palette sign. I'm going to get that on the floor. I'm going to be using this board. It's a 9x12 palette. You guys, I'm going to lift you up just a little bit, the camera, so you can see a little more of this table. There, that might be better. This palette board, I'm going to be using this. It is a Chalkator board, and I'm going to be using a Chalkator design on top. But, and this has gorgeous distressing detail and these sprigs of holly and greenery on the deer. But I wanted some crackles showing on the board. So I've already applied, you guys, my crackle medium. I did it a couple of hours ago because I wanted the crackle medium to have a chance to do its thing. Like, it's really much better with these kinds of mediums if you can possibly just let it dry on its own rather than forcing it to dry. So I've already done that. I got it on there, a good couple of coats actually, and I really made it thicker. You know, I kind of envisioned this being here, and I made it thicker where the deer imprint will not be, so that it offsets, right? Because the deer already has his own gorgeous distressing. Let me check the comments and say hello. Hey, Cheryl, I see you. Good morning, Miss Deb. You were the first one to greet me. Thank you. Merry Christmas. You guys getting into the Christmas spirit. I'm super excited, you guys. I'm getting more and more excited. Yes, fluff the nest, toss the tinsel, sprinkle this out there, be a love and share. I got my little apron on today. Be a love and share if you don't mind. It will help Deb's whole event, because look at all that she has put together, and look at all these fantastic creatives who are coming together to share with you some inspiration for Christmas. It's a really big lineup going all the way until almost 10 p.m. Central tonight. So make sure that you jump into her free group. In fact, let me see if I can't post the group. Let me get the group link here in the comments so that you guys, you'll find the full schedule, and you'll see all the presenters. I got my little Santa emoji ready to go. All right, I think I got it, girls. We're going to hit that send button. It's going to go to everybody. There it is. So if you want to see all the presenters in one place, that is the group you're going to go to, the Arts and Crafts Showcase. You'll see them all day long. Okay, so we got to get some paint on here because, of course, to get the crackle to show, we got to add some paint. And I'm going black. I know it's a Christmas design, but my house is like a whole lot of industrial farmhouse. design at my house. That's kind of the thing I got going. So I'm going to put a black background with the deer on front, and I've got some gorgeous colors, of course, brown for the deer. And then I have some different reds and greens to do the ornaments. So let's just get started. I want you guys to see this crackle actually as much as possible. So I'm going to make, while I do the crackle, I'm going to make this screen really big so that you can see this, I hope, as much as possible. Let's get it. I'm going to get this off of here so that we can so you can see the whole screen. There we go. Look at how lovely that looks. I hope you guys like the split screen. It's a little bit more work for us. I'm not gonna lie, girlfriends. It's a little bit more work for us as the creatives to do the split screen, but I think it's so worth it. Because you get to see things a little bit more up close and personal. So I want to show you as this crackle, I got a little drip here. I am going to be painting the sides of this when it's all done. I will paint the sides of this, and I missed one little strip. So I'm going to come in. Now, the key with crackle, if you've ever struggled with crackle, and I have struggled, I've tried so many different brands. The Folk Art is the brand that I've settled on that I like. I want to show you the crackle that's appearing. It will appear as it dries. Let me get my lamp up a little higher. There. So the crackle will appear as the paint dries. And the real key to this is once you put the paint on, once you get your stroke of paint on there, don't move it again. Just get the stroke of paint, leave her be. Don't be going back and forth over and over again, because that's what will it kind of deactivates the crackle. So you just want to leave it alone. So this, I'm definitely going for like a real distressed look to this. Look at that crackle coming, you guys. Ooh, I love me some crackle. And of course, you know what? If you super struggle with crackle, if that's like a thing, which it has been for me for so long, and I think I finally got it down. If that's a thing where you struggle with it, then I would say one thing that you can do is buy a stamp. Just cheat and buy a stamp that will give you that crackle. Good morning, Gannon. I'm live, honey, so I'll join you in a few minutes, okay?
How long?
It's a 45-minute live, so I'll be with you in a little bit. And if you don't mind, get the dishes done. The dishes need to get put away. Landon, excuse me, guys. We're having a family conversation here. Landon is helping Hudson get his deer that he shot last night. And Dad went to work. So you can call him if you want to catch up with him, okay? All right, girls. Sorry for the interruption. We got a 15-year-old who just got out of bed. Right? What a life. What a life for that one. Okay. Sorry for the interruption. So see, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying not to go over it and again. And we can even sand this back. I really like the distressed look. I'm going to add a little more paint here. I want it to be really disheveled and distressed. You love the crackle and you love folk art. Anne says, from Whimsically Not, it says, the folk art crackle medium is her favorite. Oh, I hope you're enjoying watching this because it's so fun. Roxanne says Dina loves crackle too. Oh, it's so fun to play with. Laura, she says we all have kids and they come first. Gosh, you know what? What would we do without them, right? I was talking to actually Kim, who's coming up next. We were on a little Zoom call the other day, getting to know each other better and chatting. And we were talking about this, like, oh, she is, you know, her son's in college, and she said it was a big struggle when he left. And I don't think she minds me sharing that. I think all of us parents, all of us mamas go through that, right? Like now what? Now that they're officially off on their own, now what? All right, I have a little bit of white here, but remember, this is going to go over top of this with more color. We're going to, if you've never seen Chocolate Tour before, this is an adhesive silk screen transfer. It's not a stencil. It's similar, but you get, I think, crisper results and more detail, like these little striations, these little distress marks with a silk screen, which is what screen printers use to make t-shirts, actually. With the silk screen, I'm going to get a lot of detail, but I'm going to push this paste right through onto this, and it's going to cover up this section. I wanted most of my crackle to show around where the deer is not. So see here, like that's what I was hoping for. So I'm going to hit it with some air and get that paint to dry up. and then we'll move on to the next phase. Good morning, Brian. Thanks for being here. You're another fantastic creative who's sharing today. Let's see, what time is Brian on? He's on at 6:45 tonight Central. So get into the group, the Art and Craft Showcase group. If you want to make it really easy on yourself, get into the group when we're done here. And if you're not a member of that group yet, give Deb some grace. And because as you guys, you have to request to join and answer the questions. And if you've answered the questions, she will get you right in there. But give her some grace, because I bet there's a lot of people requesting to join once they've seen this amazing schedule. I'm sure there are a lot of people requesting to join. I'm going to grab my other dryer just because it's quiet. It's quieter, and we'll use this to dry. Nelda loves Crackle too. Oh, I'm so glad. Who else is a fan? Hello, the Vintage Pebble. Oh my gosh, all of our creatives are here today. Let's see the Vintage Pebble. Stephanie is up at 5:15. I'm going to give you the whole rundown, guys and girls. We're going to make sure you don't miss a stinking thing. Look at, I've got a really thick pool of paint right there. And actually, you know, if I can dry this middle part, I should be in good shape, but I better get that dried. I'm just going to, you know, I would say you do you. You know, for me, it doesn't scare me at all to like dip my finger in there and get rid of some of that paint so I can get it to dry faster. That don't bother me at all, girls. We're just going to make it, we're going to make it succumb to me. I'm going to make it, I'm the boss of it. I'm not going to let it be the boss of me. I took a little bit of that paint off with my finger just to get that section to dry a little faster. This is why I did the Crackle beforehand, because I didn't want you just sitting here watching paint dry, literally watching paint dry. So we got the Crackle done earlier, and I actually did it a couple of hours ago. It took it quite a bit of time to dry. I put a whole lot of it in some of the sections because I want a big, thick, chunky Crackle. So that's what we got. So now if you've, how many people have not used, let me get my face up here on the screen so we can chat. There I am. Hello. How many of you have not used or have used Chalk Couture before? Because we're going to talk a little bit about prepping our surface for this adhesive design, because it's a sticky. It's a big old sticker. And we need to get it on here. But when we put the sticker down, we don't want to pull up our newly painted, crackled paint. We want that to stay in place. So we got to do a little prep work here. So I'm wondering how many of you have done this before. That'll help me know how much to say about it. Oh, Brian, thanks for saying so. Oh my gosh, thank you for saying so. Listen, I feel like crafting and creating, it should be super fun, right, Brian? Like, it should be not stressful. This is why the name of my membership group is the Craft Therapy Club. I've got 2 membership groups, but one of them is the Craft Therapy Club, because crafting should be our downtime, our fun time. It's our hobby. It's the thing that gets us excited, or it should be. So thanks for saying so. I really try hard to like let my, it's genuine. My enthusiasm and my excitement for these projects is totally genuine. So I'm not making it up, friends. Evelina, I love your name, first of all. Gorgeous name, Evelina. How pretty. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a first-time watcher, and I hope you'll honor me with your presence more often. Become a crafty chick by hitting that follow button and hanging out with us more over here at the Comfy Nest with Grace. Thank you, Roxanne. She says, I love your energy. Woo, I'm so excited. What's not to be excited about? All right. Well, let's talk about this. We got a couple of spots that need to dry. Look what I do. I'm so naughty. I'm so naughty. I'm just going to take the paint right off. Like, come on. It's not drying. You're bugging me. Come on. Get on with it. Ain't nobody got time to be waiting for you. Here, we got one more spot right here. And I'm just going to dab right into it. I need it to go away. I need it to go away. And this is, as you can see, super distressed, right? Like this is a super distressed look that we're going for. So me dipping my finger into a little paint to get it to come off there, to get it to dry faster, not gonna hurt a thing. It's not gonna hurt anybody. I have some stencils and packs of paste, but I haven't used it yet, Zena says. I'm not thrilled with the stencils I have. They're not my style. Oh, well, listen, you can practice, grab a chalk board to practice on, because you know, I'll tell you if you don't know, the paste formula is the erasable formula. We have ink as well, but that you want to do on things that you can heat set and make permanent. Like I did this design with Chalk Couture and ink, and then I heat set it with my iron, so it won't go anywhere when I wash my apron. but the paste formula is erasable on non-porous things. So a chalkboard, you're going to be able to erase the paste so you can practice over and over again. Or you could do it on a mirror or glass if you don't happen to have a chalkboard. You could do it on a mirror or glass to get it to do the same thing. I have a little naughty chunk of paint right here. You stinker. Listen, I talk to my projects all the time. Does anybody else do that? I talk to the dishes. I talk to the laundry. When it shocks me, I go, oh, static, you naughty thing. So yeah, this is not new. I talked about everything in my life because, I don't know, does it make me a little goofy? I don't know. I'm wonky for sure. Splash of Paint by Deborah. Hello, welcome. Hi, Janet. It's good to see you here. Mary Beth says, I've seen it many, many times with Simply Blessed. Oh, well, awesome. So you're really familiar with it. Kim, I love this comment. She says, you're so amazing. Well, thank you, my friend. And she said, probably the busiest crafter ever. You guys, listen, she's right. I have so much. I've met the membership groups, and I'm a brand ambassador for a couple of things. I'm a retailer for a couple of things. So I'm running things off my website and filling orders almost daily, which thank you to all of you supporting the page, supporting my business by shopping my site or becoming a Facebook subscriber or joining one of my membership groups or simply being here to hang out. Thank you so much. All right, let's see. I'm going to grab this bad boy, my little sander, and I'm going to hit my edges. Before I do anything, I want to get this white to show up even a little bit more, if you can imagine. So I'm going to hit my edges very, very lightly. We're talking super distressed here, people. Now the middle, remember what I said about the middle? The deer is going to go on the middle. So I'm prepping this board to get it to look like uber old and distressed, even though it's brand new. And this will also smooth out the medium. So the crackle medium, I put it on really thick in some places because I wanted bigger crackle. So the bigger crackle causes it to be a little thicker and textured. So I'm sanding that back a little bit to give it a smooth, yeah, that feels good, a smooth surface. And now we need to prep the board because, like I said, this is a brand new, I just painted it. You just saw me paint it. And it has the crackle, which would make the paint a little more fragile. You know, like it may come up in some areas, it's crackled. And when I put this big sticker, this big sticky on there, and I pull it up, it's a brand new, I've never used this design yet. When I pull it up, I don't want my black paint to come up with it. So we need to prep this a little bit. And what I use is wax to prep my surface. So I'll take a little bit of surface wax and just a clean shop towel. And I'm going to apply this surface wax to protect the paint, the board, and to protect my sticky transfer. So we're just going to apply a bit of wax. And actually, when you wax some wood, when you wax a project like this, it makes the crackle, I think it like enhances the crackle because the paste darkens the color of the paint a little bit. Can you see how this one looks more ruddy because I just sanded it, and this one is darker just right here. It's very subtle, but this almost looks a little bit wet. And right here, it's really ruddy and dry. The wax it's sealing in that paint so that hopefully it doesn't come up when we put our transfer down, our sticky transfer. So it's a good way to protect. So I added on there. I used to use wax all the time when I painted furniture, and I don't really paint furniture anymore. And so I really love the Chocator wax because it's a really small tin and it won't dry out. And I don't use a lot of it. I don't use it often, so it won't dry out on me, which I like because there's nothing worse than buying a big container of paint or a medium or a wax and then having it dry out and you have to throw it in the garbage, right? We work too hard for our money. Okay. Actually, now that I'm seeing my sides, I told you I was going to paint my sides, but now that I'm seeing them, I might leave them. I've got plenty of the white showing, right? Okay, we've got the wax on there. I'm going to take another clean paper towel, And I'm just going to wipe one more time to smooth out that wax. The more you buff, the shinier it'll get. So if you don't like super shiny, don't do this a whole lot. If you like really shiny, keep buffing. Ideally, as I always remind you, ideally, you would want this to sit for 12, 24 hours to let that wax really harden and get firmed up. We're just gonna move ahead for the sake, because we have 45 minutes together and I want to show you the whole project. So I'm gonna use my fuzzing cloth. And if you don't have a fuzzing cloth, no worries. You can always use just your shirt, your jeans, a clean towel. Brian says, I think I'm going to be using StreamYard. Listen, Brian, I've been using it for a while and I'm using it more often lately. And I used both the free and the paid version now, where you pay. And I'm an open book. So if you want to contact me, Brian, and ask questions, that's what Kim and I were doing the other day. We were just chit-chatting. Can we help each other along? So I'm very open to doing that, Brian. Just private message me. Monica likes the light on the bottom and the dark on top. I do too. I'm glad you said that, because I'm a fan too. Yes, Chris Hunter, you're here. Chris, she says, yes, Chris Yard. So our StreamYard is amazing. You're welcome, Brian. Well, welcome, Chris Hunter. I'm so glad you're here. Chris, what time? You're the last creator today at 9 p.m. tonight. Creating with Chris Hunter. Make sure you check out my gorgeous friend and her creative page. Go hang out with her too. We got so many fantastic things to share with you today. Okay, my little fuzzing cloth. I'm going to put my beautiful deer on the fuzzing cloth, and what this does is exactly what it sounds like. Where this is incredibly sticky, you guys. It's brand new, and especially when they're brand new and they haven't been used, you want to add some fuzz to the back of it, because it's super, it's even hard to get off. It's super sticky, and I don't want it pulling up my paint. I don't want paint getting on the back of my sticky transfer. So this protects both your surface and your transfer. So we'll just do this a couple of times until it feels sufficiently fuzzed, as we say. Yeah, it feels pretty good. Okay. So we're going to put this on here and we're going to get creating. Now, for me, this design, I'm going to get them right in the middle here. For me, this design, I want it to, and see, all this crackle is going to get covered up, unfortunately, but it's going to be beautiful. I think I'm going to prop this design up. The board is kind of thick. It's got an extra board on the back, on the top and the bottom. And I think I'm going to prop this on my mantelpiece or on a shelf, but it's thick enough on the top where if you wanted to use a hanger with this, you can staple or hot glue some jute rope or a ribbon or whatever you want to use for a hanger on this board. This board, it is a Chalk Couture board. You can get it off my Chalk site. In fact, let me grab for you guys. I have a couple of links here. So this is what I'm going to drop in the comments right now is called a reverse shopping link. So here's what it means. I did all the shopping for you. And the things that I use, most of the things that I use today, the basic things that I use today are in the cart if you wanted to create this. And then if you want to take anything out of the cart or add anything before you check out, you certainly can. But the cart is pretty much got everything that you need in it. Okay, so there, I just gave you that reverse shopping cart link in the comments. Okay, brown for the deer. We're going brown for the deer. And I think I'm going to do him, this color is called camel. It's like a soft tan. So I think I'm going to do most of him soft tan, but I want to add a little bit of the darker brown. Like Deb did when she was painting this morning. She dipped her paintbrush in both a dark and a light brown so that she had a little bit of both. And I want that especially in my antlers. So I'm going to grab, okay, this is called a small squeegee. Let me get something white behind me so you can see this better. That's a small. This is a mini. I want to show you the difference in size. I almost always use a mini. But there's also these squeegees, which you can see the squeegee here on the multi-tool is much smaller in size. And then there's one more tool, the detail tool, that has a tiny squeegee on it. So it is nice if you start to invest in or commit to doing more Chalk Couture. It is nice to have a couple of squeegees on hand. So what I say is if you're just starting out, maybe grab one every time you shop. Just add it to your cart. They're usually like a few dollars. That way you get a nice collection of them in your toolbox, so that it makes it just easier when you're trying to do small, tight things if you have different size squeegee. So all I'm doing is I'm taking this paste. It's erasable, but of course on this design, we're not going to erase it. We're just going to leave it on there. But if you do it on a chalkboard, it would be erasable. If you did it on glass, if you did it on the front of your microwave, like a hard plastic, if you did it on a mirror, this would be erasable off all of those. So I'm going to come in. Let's just do the whole thing with the tan. And then I'm going to come in with my finger and add some of the dark brown. And I probably will use the paste and peel method here because we're doing a couple of different colors. I'm just having trouble getting it in there, right in that section. Okay, we're going to do a couple of different colors. So I'll probably paste this and then peel it up. I've got a little bit of the brown on my finger, and I'm going to come in on the antlers and just blend in a little bit. It's of the dark brown. It's kind of ironic that I'm doing this right now. My son and his friends have been deer hunting. They've got their tags. My son is bow hunting deer, and I think rifle opens up soon if it hasn't already here in North Dakota. But it's kind of funny that I'm doing this. He's going to love this project because he's a big deer hunting lover. And we have deer visit our yard, like the neighborhood deer. We don't hunt those deer, but the neighborhood deer that we feed in our yard. And I love watching them so much, you guys. I have more fun. I might just add a little bit to his body, just a little bit. The brown is really close to the black, so I don't want it to dominate. But I just want to show you that you can. Oh no, I've got some. Oh, look what's happening, you guys. Look what's happening. Oh my Lord. This is way different than I was expecting. Okay, listen, I'm going to put this back down. I've peeled it up. I'm going to pull this up on this side because, okay, the reason we pull it, this is called paste and peel. And the reason we do this is if you don't pull up the silk screen, it's a mesh plastic, like a mesh with an adhesive on the back. If you don't pull it up and the paste itself, the formula dries inside the silk screen, it will stay in the silk screen and it won't transfer onto your board. So we don't want that to happen. That hasn't happened. What's happening here, I'm going to show you. My newly painted surface came up on my sticky transfer. That's exactly what happened. Monica, she's saying my boys hunt as well. Regina said my brother got a big deer this morning in Kentucky. Woo, woo, that's so exciting. It's so exciting. And there's like the thrill of the hunt, but then we get so excited to have deer meat because, of course, you know, we're gonna use up what God gave us. Sheila, wait till you see it. She says it's a cute deer. Paint party with Lydia. I got you up on the screen. She says, I love this transfer. Okay, we peeled it back so that it wouldn't dry in the silk screen. But look what happened. This was not expected. This was not expected or anticipated and not intended. Look it. I actually quite like it. What the heck is going on here? So it went all the way down to my white board. That was not my intention, but I rather like it. I'm going to dry everything. Let's dry because my paste is still wet. Oh my gosh. Do you see on the back of my transfer right here, the black? It will come off. I've never had trouble getting something off of my transfer. We use what's called a board eraser. It's almost like a, what do you call them? Magic eraser. And it cleans both our chalkboards and it will clean, if we lightly use them on our transfers, it will clean the transfer. So I have no worry that this will stay on the transfer. However, because it's in this silk screen, I can wash that right out. However, this is not intended. Sometimes you get what you don't expect, right? And you just got to do what you do. Monica says, I think it's a cool effect as well. I think so too. Carol, it's actually pretty cool. Listen, sometimes I think that Deb even had a happy accident this morning, we call them. Let me put it down on this side, and I'm being careful not to move it because I still need to get my little ornaments on here. So I'm being careful not to move it too much. But oh my gosh, I really love this. I'm going to dry it so that my paste doesn't smear at all, that it stays in place. Oh my gosh. This is not at all what I intended. So we're going to pivot and we're going to make it work. So what I want to do, I'm going to make sure this is dry, which is just a little tacky. So we're going to give it a couple more minutes. We're going to put it back down. We're going to get our ornaments on here. And then my intention was I want to add just a little bit of bling with some stickles on the top of it. And then I was going to come in with a paintbrush and add some more detail because I felt like the deer was going to be too one-dimensional, but now this is definitely not one-dimensional. We got something major going on here. All right, let's see. We're going to come in and do our little ornaments, and I have a few different colors picked. I've got some greens and some reds. I think I'm going to skip that color. I think I'm going to go. Can you guys see these? Yes, you can see them on screen. Let me get this comment off. And let me get the project up big. Nope, not that way. Like that. Okay. So I've got some green. I've got some pink. I've got a couple of different greens. And I thought I'd do the ornaments a couple of different colors. Now, I think that I'm done with the browns. So I'm just going to put those aside. I'm not sure. We may come back to them because I was not intending for any white to show on my deer, but we got a bit of it. So we might come in with a paintbrush and just doctor it up a little bit. Okay, I think I want the lines that are, the strings that are holding the deer. I want them the same color as the deer. So before I do anything, I'm going to make sure that I don't have any bubbles. I'm just going to press lightly on this. Make sure I don't have any bubbles. And I'm going to come in with my tiniest tool here. And I'm going to add some brown just for the strings. And I think I'm going to cover these with gold. I think I'm going to cover them with gold. You see that little side look? Should I do the top of the ornament brown, or would you do it the same color as the ornament? Help me out in the comments, girls. This top part of the ornament, the little silver thing that holds, should I do it in brown or should I do it like the green or red? I think I should do it the same color as the ornament, but what do you think? I want to know. Help a sister out here. I have so much fun playing with Chalkator. Like the design work, so the deer is already done for me. It is basically my template for the shape of the deer. I don't know. I think I'm going to do them the same color as the ornaments, you guys. What are you saying? Kathy, you joined? Did you join? Did you become a follower? Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Hey, Keith Tuckala was here. He says, do gold. Gold. I don't have any gold, Keith. I checked this morning. I don't have any. Same color as the hanger, Monica says. Okay, we'll go brown. Monica, girlfriend, I got you up on the screen. Same color as the hanger. All right, let's just do it the same color as the hanger. Here's the thing. I will always tell you, don't overthink it and don't worry too much. I bet most of the people who look at this in my living room aren't going to say, oh, you should have done that little hanger part should have been a different color. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Those little details that we hem and haw over, nobody cares. All right, we're going to do a couple of this color because it's so pretty. And then let's see, I was going to do a couple of different greens. So let's get this green down here because it's really bold. And then where's the cover for that guy? There. So see, it does help to have multiple squeegees because when you're trying to do multiple colors. Let's get this green over here. And then I do have a really soft green. It's a little bit brighter. So I think I'll do this tiny little one over here in this softer green. So I just picked a few greens and reds. You could do them all one color. You could add blue. I mean, there are, I don't know, lots of colors with Chalkator that you could choose from. I just decided we'd just go all green and red. All right, we're going to pull this back and see what we got. Oh my goodness, the suspense. Okay, I think I got it all covered. Uh-oh, there's one thing I want to do. I just want to clean up this one. I try not to leave extra paste behind, just so I have a nice smooth coverage. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is not at all. This is not at all what I expected. Okay, see this? I'm going to put this dirty thing here. It's going to go back on my backer on the shiny side. And Chris and I are going to a wedding today, right after this. Deb was gracious enough to get me on here early so I could participate. But we are traveling 90 miles to go to a wedding this afternoon. So this is going to sit in here until probably tomorrow. I'm just going to lay it on my backer. It's going to sit in my craft room until tomorrow when I clean it. And you just need water and a board eraser, or you could just use a paper towel or your hand just to wipe out all of the mess that's on there. What on earth is this all about? Okay, my greens didn't come through the way I want to. So I'm going to come in with a little tiny paintbrush because you can, and I'm going to fill in my ornament here because you can. We're going to make it succumb to our wishes, which is green. I want green over here. That was my wish. I can leave the detail of the ornament, but I want to get that basic shape of the ornament in here. So we're going to do this. Wowzer, this is like, honestly, I will tell you, I don't know that I've ever had this happen. Honestly, I mean, I've had a little bit come up here and there, but not like what's happening today. This is over the top. And remember what I said about ideally you should let your wax cure. This is why you really, if it cures and it hardens, this wouldn't happen. But I've not really had a problem rushing it up until now. Up until now. Happy Saturday morning. All right, I dipped into this color is called pomegranate, and I'm just going to fill in. See what I can do with my paintbrush? The shape is already there, kind of like a template. And normally you wouldn't need a paintbrush at all. The color would have just transferred. But because it's given me trouble, I'm gonna dabble it in there. Okay, that was that color. Oh, I used that color over here too. All right, here we go. We're just gonna give tiny little paintbrush, giving myself the shape of the ornaments back. And what I really want to do, my intention with the ornaments was to add the gold stickles on them to get them to, kind of pop off of the project. So I can still do that. Look at here though, all of my my strings that are holding my ornaments, they turned white. Crazy. There's a little bit of the tan. What I do want to do is let's fill in our deer a little bit more. See, it's crazy that the shape stayed, but the color didn't all transfer. But it's girls, guys and girls, you got this. We're going to paint in a little bit more of that color. And it is, you can see, incredibly distressed. So I don't really have to worry about my paint job being uber perfect. I'm actually going to get a bigger paintbrush because it'll just be faster. I'm going to dry brush it on. Let me get this out of the way. I'm going to take my bit of paste here and I'm going to get it into my paintbrush and I'm just going to dry brush so I don't get full coverage, just to keep in theme with what we got going on here. So see what I'm doing? Just dry brushing it on. And it kept the gorgeous, I'll show it to you in a second, the gorgeous greenery on the bottom. Strangely, it all stayed. That's much better. And same here, I want to do these, I don't want these antlers to be white or as white as they turned out. Wowzer, this is like crazy town, girls. Guys and girls, because I know Brian's here and Keith is here. Oh, Keith, I've not seen you in so long. I'm just so thrilled that you're here. Haven't heard from you. You haven't heard from me. We've just lost touch. Keith is a friend from, gosh, Keith, have we known each other for 30 years? We used to work together in Massachusetts. He now lives in the South. I live in the North. Keith, we got 13 inches of snow yesterday. Hey, Gia. She says, it looks like I missed a lot. Gia, it's been a very exciting morning. Would you guys agree? Show me some hearts on the screen. Has this been an exciting morning here? We've got about 7 more minutes. I'm going to doctor up the paint a little more. I'm going to hold this up close so you can see. I can't believe that the greenery on the bottom is still showing. We're going to doctor it up a little more. I want to get those ornaments to pop. That's going to be my next goal. But I'm just filling in those antlers so they're not so white. And actually, the transfer design gave me a really good start for the shape of the greenery. So I think I might use my stickles, my green stickles, to make that pop a little more. Okay, now we're going to go into the stickles next. Okay, let me show you up close. I'm going to hold it up close. It is totally distressed, but look at how that greenery, like the shape of that beautiful greenery on the bottom stayed. We filled in the deer. Oh, I wouldn't mind filling in this section of the deer a little bit more. I've got a little water bottle here, and I'm just adding just a bit of water onto this squeegee so I can grab up that paste and it'll spread a little more easily. So I want to fill this in with a little more of the brown. Okay. Touch-ups. These are called touch-ups. And listen, for those of you who are regular crafty chicks, you can totally, what do you call it? Like affirm this or confirm it for everybody who's new here. If there's one place you can go to learn how to really screw things up and to fix them, and not listen, I will always tell you, don't get too worried about it. Don't get too worked up. It's all going to be fine. Okay, another small brush. If I got another small one, I want to outline. So it looks like my ornaments need a little help here, and I want to outline them a little more. So, and I want to get gold. My intention was to use the stickles. I have this gorgeous gold stickles, and I was going to use it on the ornaments to just make them pop. And I was going to use it on the strings for the ornaments. So I'm going to do that, but I'm going to use a little bit more of the paste on my brush to get the outside edges of these ornaments to just be a little bit more confirmed, or like, what's the word? Noticeable. Maybe that's a better word. Noticeable. There we go. I really want to see that shape before I go in and add some more detail to it. And I want to help that green one along. Dipping for some water, going in my little water bucket. Defined. Evelina, you're good with words. Defined. Catherine, yes. And Christy, hello, Christy. Defined edges. Yes. That's it. Okay, so let us go. I'm going to go into the green. Define this edge. Thank you for the words, ladies. There we go. Just defining those edges a little bit more. Now, let's come in. I'm going to use the gold. And before I do this, I'm just going to move some of these over so I can get this board closer to me. Let's get them moved over on the table. There we go. Let's dry. And okay, so Deb just put up the next presenter's link. So Kim, my friend Kim from yesterday's Tomorrow's, you want to go check her out. But the fastest, easiest thing to do really is to just go into the group and request to be added, because there are all these creators all day long and you don't want to miss out on any of them. And if you're in the group, it will give you, like, you just have to keep refreshing the group every 45 minutes and you'll get to the new person without having to like head on over to each one of our pages, like finding each one of our pages. So it will be a lot easier for you in the long run if you were just to jump in the group. But she gave you yesterday's Tomorrow, her link right there. Oh, Sarah, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. Thank you. And listen to Christy. Christy, you know how to make a girl feel good. I'm sending you some love. She says, I love your energy, even when you have a happy accident. Listen, it's okay. I really do want to encourage you guys, when you create, to just not take it so seriously. It's all good, friends. It's all good. Everything's going to be fine. It's a craft. It's a creation. And we learn, right? We learn from the things that don't go well. We're definitely going to learn a whole lot. I'm going to add just a splash of bling. And actually, my gold stickles can help cover up the white a little bit. And Keith, my friend Keith, said you should do those little hardware things gold. I can add a little bit of gold to these now that I have my little stickle bottle out. If you don't know what stickles are, it's considered a glue, but I've never used it that way. But it's a thick formula that it has this really fine tip on it. Let me show you. It has this really fine tip on it, so it makes it really easy to basically write with it as a color. So I'm going to use it to highlight the strings that are holding the ornaments, and we can do that little metal piece that holds the ornament. Even though I didn't have the gold paste on hand, I can use my stickles. And these stickles come in red, blue, green, white, clear. gold, silver. They come in a bunch of colors, and I sell a whole bunch of them on my site, thecomfynestwithgrace.com. Okay, so I'm going to try to hold that up to you, and maybe you can see. No, not yet. It's not enough of it. We'll add some more. I really wanted to do the ornaments. This is the green, and I think it's green enough, close enough that I could add it to my green ornaments. So I'm going to take the green and I'm going to outline, help define the edges of my ornaments. And then I'm going to come in. The ornaments do have some design and shape to them. So I'm going to come in with the green and just help it along. And I was intending to do this anyway, but it really is a big help because my edges got so obscured with the paint coming up off on the transfer. Okay, this you might be able to see. So see on this light green ornament on the edges, you know what I have to do? That. There we go. Now you can see it. All right. So you can see the difference I just outlined with a little bit of that shimmer to really get those to pop. So I'm going to do the same thing with the other ornaments, but I think what I'll do too, these swirls that are supposed to be on this ornament, I'm going to come in with it and just draw in the swirls. Why not? Oh, you guys, my time is up. All right, so I'm going to keep working on this. When we come back from this wedding, Chris and I'm going to work on this a little bit more tonight, and I will post a photo inside Deb's group and here on the page so that you guys can see how this all worked out. I love the shape of it. I love the color. The ornaments are really coming to life with the stickles. I have a little bell that I think I'm going to put on the nose. So that will be a new addition, but the rest of it will stay the same. You guys, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being patient through my happy accident and for being so supportive. Head on over to Yesterday's Tomorrow. She's up next, and make sure you join in on all the fun all day long. If you have nothing going on, guys and girls, tune in Deb's group called the Art and Craft Showcase for the full day. Many blessings. Go make something pretty that brings your heart joy. I'll catch you next time.